How's it going, everyone? So after about 19 hours, it looks like the PlayStation Network is coming back online. It is seemingly going back up in waves, and over here in the East Coast, seemingly back up. You can get into games, a couple of errors here and there, and your overall experience online may still be affected, but it is rolling back online. There are a couple of things to talk about that I do want to go over, particularly one key point that I feel like a lot of people got exposed to, and that is regarding offline play. And as I'm recording this video, I'm looking up the Ask PlayStation Twitter account. Brothers, just stop tweeting until this is resolved. They tweeted 3 minutes ago, a supported M2 SSD can expand your PS5 storage capacity and also allows you to play games directly from the M2 drive itself and more games freely from different storage types. Yeah, like, let me go download all those games that I haven't been able to download. Like, this was a scheduled tweet by the looks of it. It went up exactly at 3 p.m. Eastern. But, Ask PlayStation, you're just gonna get eviscerated. Like, I feel like you could unschedule your tweets, but, that is a bit comical. But, it is rolling back online now. You should be able to go online, get Monster Hunter Wilds downloaded, play the beta for the time that you have left, and now this is the most significant outage that the PlayStation Network has had since 2011. And that was obviously the PSN apocalypse, where they did the welcome back program, gave out 2 free games. They're not going to be giving out anything for free. I don't think so. PSN doesn't have the respect for any of us, or PlayStation doesn't have the respect for any of their consumers. They'll up the price of PlayStation Plus by the end of the year. I'll throw that out there right now. They ain't giving anybody anything. I will be pleasantly surprised if they do. I feel like by the end of the year, they're upping the price of PS Plus. That's what I'm expecting. But nevertheless, this is the second time that a notable outage has happened in the last 6 months. That's why I feel like it is so relevant to talk about. And on top of that, PlayStation's transparency as far as what was going on is absolutely abysmal. It's not just in a vacuum, this situation. Again, this happened 6 months ago. And what about in the future? What if something in the future happens? This is the respect that they have for their consumer. They should at least put out statements really quickly, by the hour, I would say. Like, bro, people pay money for PlayStation Plus. It would be one thing if PS Plus was free. It is not, and it is the weekend. It is peak gaming time for a lot of people, and it's just their transparency as far as the outage goes, I think is a bigger issue than the outage in a vacuum itself. It just goes back to either they have just really bad communication issues with their audience, or they just have no respect for their audience, and it is what it is. I do want to go over a Tom Warren tweet before I talk about the offline playing element of all of this. Tom Warren tweeted, without Sony commenting, nobody knows why PSN has been down for 19 hours and counting, but Microsoft did block a staggering DDoS attack on Azure Xbox infrastructure over the Christmas holidays, so it's possible Sony is dealing with something similar. I doubt, like, at this point, definitely was not scheduled maintenance. Scheduled maintenance would not leave PSN down for 19 hours, and when they do scheduled maintenance, it's usually done at a time like 3 a.m. Eastern, so, like, most people would not be gaming at that time. You're talking about it kicking off at 8 o'clock, going, or no, it was a little bit before that, like 7 o'clock Eastern, 6:30 Eastern, around that time, going into the morning and afternoon of Saturday. I would say that stretch of time is probably peak gaming time for most people. You're off of work, I get it, some people have social lives. We don't around these parts. We don't condone social lives, we condone gaming time, and you know, most people, or a lot of people, come back from work trying to play their games. Why would you schedule maintenance during peak gaming hours? It was probably some sort of attack. The gravitas of that attack and the fact that Sony has had no transparency as far as what this attack was, if it was an attack, I'm led to believe it was, it's just absolutely jarring to me. It's a bit mind-numbing, to be perfectly honest, and Sony's got to do better in terms of having a level of transparency. Just say we are undergoing they are undergoing investigation, whatever, a simple statement. We don't even get that. And the tweet from Ask PlayStation, we know that some PlayStation, no, it's not some PlayStation users, every PlayStation user is experiencing issues right now, or they were experiencing issues. The level of transparency is just appalling for a service we pay money for. Let me reiterate that. And by the way, I want everybody defending it once PS Plus inevitably goes up in price again to be like, yeah, dude, PlayStation Plus, let's go, up in price again. You guys give us such a great service. Less transparency is what we want, but I digress. Now, I will come to PlayStation's defense for one thing, and you can assess this in a multitude of different ways, but I've seen the social media posts go around a lot of people unable to play offline games. Can't use this content, can't connect to the server to verify your license. Wait a while and then try again. If you enable console sharing and offline play on the PS5, you can use your content even when the server isn't available. So there's a couple things to dissect with that. First of all, if you guys don't know, whenever you set up an account on a PlayStation 5 for the first time, you have the option to enable console sharing and offline play. That means you can play your digital games offline. You are allowed to have one console at a time enabled with console sharing and offline play. Otherwise, you have to be logged in to play a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, for example, or a Metaphor ReFantazio, games that are single player, but since you bought them digitally, you either have to have console sharing and offline play enabled, or you have to be signed in. Obviously, if you are somebody that did not enable it for whatever reason, a lot of people just forget. You're always connected online. You don't even think about this, and you don't even enable this thing. You don't have to enable it when you set. You can just click skip, I believe, when you set up your account. Other people have game sharing enabled, and that is a gray area that, you know, we don't really talk about on this channel because that is a gray area, but essentially, you can share your digital games with another user. It's very easy to do, but in a case like this where PSN goes down and you're trying to play those games on maybe a different account where you did not buy that game, but you are trying to play that game where you are signed in, but your PSN account has console sharing and offline play enabled on a different console, so your buddies can log into their accounts and play the game. I believe that's how you structure it. Essentially, it's worked out. You could do it with a limit of 2 people where you could play games at the same time and you're essentially sharing your game. It's a cool little trick that honestly might be breaking TOS, but we don't talk about that on this channel. Back in the day, they had it up to like literally 5 accounts. 5 accounts could be sharing the same account's content, and this is back in the PS3 days. There were like literal groups that people would just make online of like people sharing accounts, and yeah, people were making out like a bandit back in the day. Then they limited it to 2 accounts, and that's what's going on for a lot of people. Or in the other case, they don't have console sharing and offline play enabled. I believe how it works as well, though, every 30 days, you have to have an internet connection to re-verify your license. Don't quote me on the time period, but you do eventually have to get back online to verify your license, so keep that in mind as well. But a lot of that is tied towards the console sharing on offline play not being enabled. However, if you don't have it enabled and it's just something you skipped past, you didn't care to enable it, if PSN is down, you can't suddenly enable it. You have to have online connection. So people did get effed over that way as well and being locked out of their games. It's either the game sharing thing or it's just they didn't enable console sharing and offline play, which yes, you should just be able to go ahead and enable it if it's something you didn't enable, but with PSN being down, you can't enable it. Whether you want to have an argument about this console sharing and offline play, if it should be limited to one console, you can have that argument. I'm not talking about that in particular, but there are a lot of people doing the game sharing route and things of that nature that I just want to be fully transparent with you guys on why this is happening in the console sharing and offline play component to all of this. If you do have that enabled, you should have no problem even if PSN is down for a duration to play your games offline. But again, and there's other reasons why you wouldn't have console sharing and offline play enabled on one console. Maybe you're on vacation and you have a PS5 with you. I don't know. You're at a vacation home. You're at a friend's place. I don't know. There's other reasons why you're on a console that doesn't have offline play enabled and PSN goes down. What I am saying is it's all tied to that. It's all tied to the console sharing and offline play being disabled or enabled, and I think that should be known. I feel like a lot of people don't even know about that. Some people don't even know about game sharing. It's you know, the more you know, the more you know. That's just what I'm bringing up for you guys. But that'll do it for me. Again, at least PSN is coming back online. Could have been the result of a DDoS attack. Who knows? I doubt PlayStation will ever give us clarity. If they do, I'll certainly let you guys know. And as far as the offline play on single player games go, there are a couple of layers to it, so keep that in mind. But again, that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.